This is an excerpt from Peter Ralston's new book, Ending Unnecessary Suffering, coming out in March of 2025. There are many powerful principles that can dramatically change and enhance one's experience of life. In order for them to work, however, they have to be adopted and lived as part of your character or person. For that to happen, you have to understand what the principle is and be willing to commit yourself to adopting it. This can't be done without seeing the value and power available in doing so. Like the above distinctions, the following principles will be a lot to take on. It is very unlikely you will be able to incorporate them all into your person. You can try them all on and get to know them experientially, grasping their value and power, and so altering your perspective on matters related to them. But more likely you'll be best served, at least in the beginning, to focus on one or two principles to adopt and incorporate as an aspect of the life you live. So, what is a principle, and how can it be applied to life? Responsibility is a well-known principle for governing our behavior and attitude. As a common notion, however, it is sometimes resisted or misunderstood. It often comes across as a burden or blame. If we strip away such misinterpretations, we can see responsibility in a different light. Responsibility as a principle simply means you are held as the source of your own actions or your relationship to things. This is not a moral issue, it is simply acknowledging the facts and moving yourself into alignment with the principle. In so doing, you tend not to resist, deny, or try to get around this fact, but instead use it by involving yourself in consciously taking charge of your actions and internal states. Once adhering to the principle of being responsible for your perspective, actions, reactions, assumptions, thought processes, and so on, you are in the strongest position to make changes, be more effective, or manage consequences. A side effect of adopting such a principle is an increase in self-esteem and a sense of being more powerful and in charge of your own life, even if sometimes you suffer unpleasant or embarrassing outcomes. This is because, as the source of your experience and actions, which includes being responsible for influencing a great deal of what happens around you, you are in the driver's seat. Of course, it means negative outcomes that you produce are also your responsibility. But, as the driver, you are empowered to steer the outcomes towards something more positive, or at least acknowledge the outcomes you've fostered and take responsibility for them. By owning them, they are accepted for what they are. In this way, you can make correction and move on more smoothly than if you try to duck or resist your responsibility in the matter. Consider responsibility as a power you can take on, rather than an accusation leveled at you. Can you see the huge difference between these two dispositions? Be impeccable with your word. Speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. Don Miguel Ruiz. Ending Unnecessary Suffering is coming out in March of 2025. To pre-order now, click the link in the description.